Again, it is all the news all the time, and my name, as always, is Adam, and it's really nice to have you back. And yeah, we're looking at some interesting news today, and you can see we're at the Palms Casino Resort in Las Vegas, coming up on the 4th of November. It's the 3rd of November right now. This is why I've got cards spinning around my head, because we're in the casino, Las Vegas Palms Casino Resort. Wow. That's pretty good. Can you buy tickets? Usually they're sold out. Let's have a look. Looks like they are all sold out because they would be blue, and these are all red ones which are verified resale. So yeah, they've all sold out. I do see a blue one over here. Is that a lone sold ticket that's still available? I think it's taking ages to zoom in. Zoom. Well, it is. It isn't. The whole thing is not sold out. You can get. Oh, now we're super zooming. All right. Stop. All right. How much is this? It is 55 of your finest dollars. So yeah, there is one seat available for $55, and the rest is sold out. But yeah, brilliant. So you can get a ticket. The rest are going to be expensive resale tickets, and that's going to cost a fair whack of money. But if you are in the Palm Casino Resort in Las Vegas, Nevada on Friday, November the 4th, then this is your opportunity. Grab that one blue ticket up there, and that'll be brilliant. The rest are really expensive, I think. Yeah, $420 down here, $612. What's this one up here? $350. I mean, it's a big place as well. This is the Pearl Concert Theatre at the Palms, so quite a big casino in Las Vegas. It's going to be an amazing show. Let's have a little look at the website itself. This is the Palms Pearl Theatre. It says where memories are made. This is very true. And you've got this is the gig coming up. Jeff Beck and Johnny Depp, Pearl Theatre, November 4th. And if you stick around to the 12th, you can watch some boxing. And on December 4th, they've got whatever that is. And REO Speedwagon, come on, brilliant. REO Speedwagon, nice. January 21st. Dancing with Stars and OV7, no idea what that is. But this is what you want. Sold out, yeah, see? Sold out again with a few resale tickets, and followed by the boxing. So that's going to be pretty cool. It looks like a big, where's the picture? Yeah, this is what it looks like inside. You've got the stage here, you've got these floor seats, and then banking seats, and then you've got this tier up here. You've got some boxes. It's going to be pretty awesome indeed. Let's have a little look at the outside. The size of these roads, oh my god. It's ridiculous. And how many, what? That's like 1, 2, 3, 4 lanes of, well, who knows what goes on. Anyway, this is the Palms, and you can get yourself in here. The size of this thing. Some advertising, winner guaranteed, some amount of money, free play or something chips, who knows. Gambling's bad, okay? Okay. I used to be a croupier, so yeah, I watched a lot of people lose a lot of money. And look at the size of these roads. And there you go. So this is where you're going to be on the 4th. And what is this? Asian American Cultural Centre. Looks like a car park to me. What's this? Ping pang pong. What? What is that? That's just rude. Ping pang pong. That's just rude. I don't know what that is. And Palm Casino Resorts and barbecue. What does that say? It just says eat meat. Okay, I like the thoughts there. Good stuff. So you get yourself down to the Palms, and it's going to be pretty awesome. Jeff Beck, Johnny Depp tour on the 4th. And what else is going on today? Very interestingly, I think, this is from the Law and Crime website. They're talking about Johnny Depp tells the appeals court that loan judgment for Amber Heard is erroneous. So Johnny Depp has put forward a brief today, or was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday, which is challenging the 1 point that AH won in the trial. If we have a little look here, attorneys for the actor Johnny Depp on Wednesday, which is yesterday, filed a 44-page appellate brief, which I have here, which is long and quite complicated. But they filed this brief in a long-standing defamation battle, yes, we know that, with Depp's ex-wife and actress So the 6-week trial resulted in a decisive win for Johnny Depp. A Virginia trial jury determined that Heard had defamed Depp. Yes, she did. Though that same jury determined that Depp's lawyer, Adam Waldman, in one sole instance defamed Heard out of 3. So there was 3 instances that were challenged, and he lost one of those. That later statement by Depp's lawyer is solely the subject of Depp's appeal. So they're challenging that single point in which won. And if they win that, it's going to be a whitewash and a complete victory for Johnny Depp. And so the judgment in Ms. Heard's favour on that loan statement is erroneous, they argue. So they're saying it's wrong. Here is the font on the cover page, oddly reminiscent of Halloween. They say, let's have a look at the real one. You're not wrong, actually. It's got that sort of spooky, Sleepy Hollows sort of vibe to it, which I quite like. And what else is going on? This is the record number. These are the appellants. And we've got some like a recap or a summation of the of these 44 pages, because otherwise it's going to be hard to go through the whole lot. So what have we got here? Appellant, which is the person making the appeal, John C. Depp, alleges that the appellee, Amber Laura Heard, defamed him by implying in an op-ed in Washington Post that he had abused her during their relationship and brief marriage. We know that. Then we had a counterclaim. Ms. Heard alleges that one of Mr. Depp's attorneys, the non-party Adam Waldman, Mr. Waldman, defamed her in 3 statements. Collectively, these are known as the Waldman statements. And this was in the United Kingdom in the tabloid The Daily Mail, claiming that Ms. Heard's claims of abuse were false. She alleged that Mr. Depp was vicariously liable for his attorney's statements. And on May 27th, the jury retired to deliberate. On June the 1st, it returned its verdict, then overwhelmingly favoured Mr. Depp. So this is pretty much setting out the situation. The brief quickly narrows the appellate court's focus away from the victory and towards the core of the whittled down dispute. So away from what the past and what we're actually looking at now. What we're looking at now is the jury found that Ms. Heard defamed Mr. Depp in the op-ed and awarded Mr. Depp $10 million in compensatory, $5 million in punitive damages. This is reduced, obviously. On the counterclaim, the jury found in Mr. Depp's favour on 2 of the 3 Waldman statements and all of his statements as well. So he wins pretty much across the board apart from one thing. But in favour of Mrs. Heard on the 3rd Waldman statement. That is the only statement at issue in this appeal. So Mr. Depp is only challenging this one winning point. A successive paragraph is pretty much a victory lap. Well, let's have a look at that because that's always fun. The jury is emphatic. Favourable verdict on all 3 defamatory statements alleged in his complaint. Fully vindicated Mr. Depp, yes it did, and restored his reputation. Indeed, Mr. Depp prevailed in the trial court on virtually all material issues, and the verdict of the jury and judgment of the trial court represent an intelligent and well-reasoned decision on the merits after a full and fair trial. Very nice. And should be largely, although not entirely, affirmed. However, the trial court was confronted with a number of novel, which means new, and complex legal and factual issues. And although the trial court decided the vast majority of those issues sensibly, well, they think it sensibly because it was in their favour, and correctly, well, according to them, a few rulings were erroneous, they claim, with good grounds. So let's have a look. The brief then reasserted that the sole issue was Waldman's statement. That statement, published in the Daily Mail, describes a recording of a phone call to the police on the night of May 21st, a date on which Ms. Heard alleged Mr. Depp threw a phone at her, roughed up their apartments at the building, the appellant brief record. Ms. Heard presented no evidence at trial that Mr. Depp was personally involved in directing or making any of the 3 Waldman statements. Indeed, Mr. Depp testified that he had never even seen the Waldman statements prior to the filing of the counterclaim. In other words, according to Depp's lawyers, Johnny Depp, can't be held liable for the statements of Adam Waldman. But they're going to say vicarious liability, aren't they? And the brief alleges that the trial court made a mistake when it allowed Heard's claim regarding the statement at issue to move forward. 3 legal rationale, or 3 reasons, have been cited to back up Johnny Depp's argument that the court should have, but failed to, grant a judgment in favour on those counts. So they're saying there are 3 reasons why he should win on these points. Point number 1, Ms. Heard's claim was fatally flawed, and the trial court should have granted Mr. Depp's motion for summary judgment and his motion to strike the evidence for 3 reasons, the first of which is Mr. Depp cannot be held liable for Mr. Waldman's statement as a matter of law. They're going to say vicarious liability. Ms. Heard sought to hold Mr. Depp liable for the April 27 Waldman statements on a pure theory of vicarious liability. Yeah, I could see that coming a mile away. Contending that Mr. Depp was liable merely because Mr. Waldman had been retained by Mr. Depp as his attorney and was therefore his agent. But, as a matter of law, Mr. Waldman is an independent contractor whose allegedly tortious conduct is not automatically attributable to Mr. Depp. So they're saying tort as in a civil wrong, not torture as in to torture someone. So it's not automatically attributable to Mr. Depp. He's an independent contractor, and therefore Mr. Depp is not liable through the theory of vicarious liability. Vicarious liability is a weird concept, but it means if I'm an employer and I employ a driver, and the driver goes driving and crashes into someone, then usually I would not be liable as the employer. But if I'm the employer and I say to the driver, I want you to keep driving over your legal hours because I want you to do the work and I want to make profit, then I have caused a situation where I will become vicariously liable. I will become liable for the actions of the driver. Even in murder, I will become vicariously liable for that murder because I've caused it as the employer. There are many other instances and examples of this, but it's a method of making employers liable for the actions of their employees, which is in many ways good because the actions of employers can be very bad, and society needs to be protected from that sort of poor behaviour. I could give you loads of examples, but let's move on. Vicarious liability. They're saying he's not vicariously liable because he's an independent agent, and there are a lot of authorities, a lot of case law that suggest or limits a client's liability for tortious conduct by an attorney, and the court should impose that same limit here. So that's all the first point of law. The second point of law, because Ms. Heard proceeded against Mr. Depp at trial on vicarious liability theory, she was required to present evidence that Mr. Waldman committed each element of the tort of defamation, which is a civil wrong, including that he acted with actual malice. No evidence of Mr. Waldman's actual malice was presented, so the judgment against Mr. Depp cannot be sustained. Malice doesn't mean malicious as in hatred. It means either intentionally or recklessly, usually. And thirdly, the April 27 statement, viewed in context, is a non-actionable statement of opinion, insufficient to support a claim for defamation. So there's 3 points that the lawyers are arguing. Firstly, that Johnny Depp is not liable for the statements of an independent contractor. Secondly, even if he was liable under this, it would be down to Mrs. Heard to prove that the statements were made intentionally or recklessly, which again would be difficult. And even if that were true, both of those were true, on the third point, it's saying that this is a non-actionable statement of opinion anyway because of the context in which it was stated. So there's 3 levels of point in which this it might be possible to overturn the judgment. Very interesting, I think. The brief also says the court also made 2 other alleged mistakes by failing to provide alternative grounds for a judgment favourable to Depp. They're saying, in addition to erroneously denying Mr. Depp's motion for summary judgment and motion to strike, the trial court also erred, which made a mistake, in excluding from evidence the complete Daily Mail articles containing the Waldman statements and refusing to give the jury instructions as to Mr. Waldman's status as an independent contractor. So they're putting 2 more points forward. They're saying the article in the Daily Mail was redacted and the only bit that was shown were the actual statements, not the context around it. And that's why they're saying it should be an opinion rather than a defamatory statement. And the second bit, which relates to this section here, the second point, is they should have spoken to the jury and said Mr. Waldman is an independent contractor, therefore the second point would apply. And it's not possible, the first point would apply, that it's not possible to attribute vicarious liability to Johnny Depp because he's an independent contractor. So, 2 points. So it looks kind of strong, in my opinion. Again, I'm not an expert in US law. I've only got a UK law degree, which gives me sort of a gist of what's going on, but not a clear sort of understanding of US law. But we shall see. We shall see indeed. So yeah, there's the actual brief itself. If you want to go through that, there's like 44 pages of stuff, but the first bit is quite interesting. It's been signed by Benjamin Chew, and we have Andrew C. Crawford, Brown Rudnick LLP, is that limited liability partnership, and we also have Camille Vasquez is on the sheet as well, which is fantastic. And I saw something quite fun as well, which was the compare and contrast, which I'll show you right now. Everything today. If you found anything interesting, make sure you do like and subscribe. It really does help. And join the membership if you would like to join the community. That'd be fantastic. And I will chat to you guys later.